Welcome into Carpooling with Ben. Today, listen folks, this is the oldest continuous 4th of July celebration in the galaxy, okay? In the galaxy, Donna. In the galaxy.
Absolutely.
Because they don't celebrate the 4th of July on Mars, last I checked.
Nah.
And if they did, their parade's a lot younger than ours, okay? So from the Bristol 4th of July celebration, the general chairman, right? Did I say that right?
You said that right.
Donna Falcoa. Donna, thank you so much. And what we're doing today is we are going to drive the parade route, as it were. I'm going to stay in the lanes. I'm not going to split the middle like as if it was the parade, but we are now turning onto Hope Street, the start of the parade route.
Yes, it is.
And how long has this parade been going on?
This is our 232nd year of celebrating the 4th of July.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And every year, you guys do such a fantastic job. The crowds pack in, but it's a lot more than just the parade. The parade is kind of like the end of it.
The parade is the pinnacle.
The pinnacle.
Of what we work
Right.
up to.
Right.
All of
I
our
said
events.
that wrong. Yeah, the pinnacle. Yeah.
All of our events lead up to that day. That is our big finale to our celebration.
That's so great. And I remember years ago, you used to have the fireworks on 4th of July at night, and it was a little crazy because everybody would come into Bristol for the parade, they'd leave, then come back to Bristol for the fireworks. But since then, you've adjusted that schedule, so the fireworks are on the 3rd of July, which coincide with an amazing culmination to a concert series.
Yes, it does. The concert series runs until July 3rd.
Okay.
That's
so,
the final concert.
And there's a concert every night.
Every single night.
Independence Park.
Independence Park, rain or shine.
Okay. And you have some amazing bands coming. Tell us about some of the bands that are coming this year.
Some of the bands are ones that we have, few of them are ones that we have had in the past that people really, really loved. Mm-hmm. Six Wire is coming back this year, and they haven't been here for a couple of years. Ray does a spectacular job with the bands. He tries to find something that's going to please everyone.
Sure. This
year, as a special, something for the children, on the Saturday prior, on the July 1st, we're going to have a performance of The Frog Prince by Kaleidoscope Theater at 1 o'clock.
Oh, fantastic.
So something just especially for the children and their families that they can come and enjoy. So we're going to see The Frog Prince on the afternoon.
Wow, that's great.
It is.
Metallica is not coming this year, folks, just so everybody's aware. No. My apologies to Brendan Kirby. The concert series is one of many events that lead up. And the events actually started back earlier in the year, and you had Flag Day in
Yes,
June.
we just had Flag Day.
And so as we come forward, what are the other events that people can... Is there a carnival this year?
Yes, there is. The carnival comes in on the Wednesday, the 28th, prior to the 4th of July, and will run straight through the 4th. We have what we call old-fashioned days, and they're games on the common for children.
Oh, wow.
But due to the fact that it had rained and the ground was soaking wet, we were too afraid that children would get hurt. Mm-hmm. So we've just postponed that. Our vintage baseball games, where they play with old rules in the 1800s and in old heavy woolen uniforms. Wow. And no gloves.
Those are the days. So for that game every year, they are begging for those cooler days.
Yes, they are.
Absolutely.
And hopefully the humidity will stay down just a little bit for them.
And if anybody gets hurt, they use crutches from the 1800s as well.
Maybe.
So
I'm not quite sure.
Hopefully nobody gets hurt.
No. Thank God, goodness, we've never had anything like that.
This town rallies around the 4th of July.
Oh, absolutely.
This entire celebration. And the town rallies, we've driven down Hope Street. People literally are already starting to decorate their houses. We're a few weeks out, get their lawns ready and manicured and set up. I mean, I've seen people rent bleachers.
For their lawns. Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
Is crazy.
People rent bleachers for their family and friends. They rent porta-johns to make things a little more accessible for everybody.
Sure.
Our vice chairman, Fran O'Donnell, who's also our parade chairman, said that is her favorite part of the 4th, is seeing people all along the parade route and even in other areas of town spiffying up their houses and decorating their houses and bunting and flags. And the red, white, and blue stripe is a real big deal for us.
Absolutely.
Because this is a state highway. It's not a town road. It's a state highway. So this is very unusual for them, but it was all freshly painted this week.
Great.
And
Looks good. Looks
yes,
perfect.
it's beautiful.
And it reminds anybody who's driving the parade route. I've done that a few times as part with Cardi's. It reminds you where to stay on for the parade route.
Exactly.
So, as the general chairman, is there like a decree or an edict that you can stop at any cookout you want and sample food? Is that okay? Is that kind of like just a golden pass? Or?
Well, we don't have time. You can't hold up the parade. The parade's got to keep going.
Parade keeps on moving.
Parade keeps on moving, whether I'm hungry or not. But one of the nicest things that I found as an officer and marching in the parade is that, especially on a really hot day, people will just run out from the front of their houses and bring you bottles of cold water.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, they can tell by the time you get to them that it's been a little while since they've had some liquid refreshment. So let's go get them. Let's run out and bring them a bottle of cold water. So it's really nice. I mean, when we had the ship last year, some of the sailors were so impressed by the fact that when they were on leave and they were on shore, that as they were walking, people were having their dinner. People were calling them in, come have hot dogs and hamburgers with us. And
that's great.
They just could not believe the patriotism in this town. They've seen it before in a lot of other places that they've been, but they said Bristol by far was the most patriotic town they had ever been to.
Well, it's the oldest, longest continuous celebration in the galaxy.
It is.
I think we need to rebrand that.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you ever saw the Bristol Parade?
My father worked for Kaiser Aluminum.
Oh, okay. The tall building that's now apartments.
Yep.
Right on the Portsmouth. Okay.
The lots would be opened the day of the parade for all of the employees to park their cars and bring their families. So from the time we were very little, my brother and I were very little, my parents always brought us to the parade. Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite memory from the parade?
I think just being there with my parents and my brother. They're all deceased now. Okay. So being able to spend all those years watching the parade with them as a child and now being a part of it, I know that they're looking down and that they're sharing the celebration with me. As I told this year's Chief Marshals, Gail Perella and Lisa Senkowitz, who have also lost their parents, who are native Bristolians. That
Gill's Appliance.
Gill's Appliances from on Medicum Avenue. Yes, that their parents are here with them in a very special way, and they're making sure that everything's going to run perfect the day of the parade for them.
Yeah. So, of course, we're seeing some of Bristol's finest
heading off to a fire.
But they, you get a lot of support from the fire and police departments, which is always,
We could not do this parade without the support of the town of Bristol through their police department, their fire department.
Which is volunteer fire department.
Completely volunteer fire department. The police department is just so helpful to us. And most importantly for us in a lot of aspects is the Department of Public Works. There'd be no poles, no signs on the poles, no banners on the poles, and they just do so much of the background work that nobody sees.
Right.
And the same for the police and the fire department. Nobody really sees them the day of the parade and knows how much work they're really doing on the day of the parade.
If you don't hear from them and if you don't see them, they've done their job above and beyond.
It's a very, very good thing.
Speaking of other people who help out and other resources you have an insane amount of volunteers and committee members and people that truly love this parade. Talk about the folks behind you who make this parade happen.
Absolutely. There are 154 members on the Bristol 4th of July committee. We have 50 what are termed life members, people who have been on the committee for over 20 years. But some of those people are still very, very active. Obviously, some of them can't be anymore due to age-related.
Sure. But
a lot of our life members are still very involved in the planning and the bringing about of the parade and all of its celebrations.
Yeah. It's really just an amazing presentation of teamwork. The way that everybody comes together, and there's so many people that just know what to do and they just get it done. And
exactly.
That's what helps to bring it all together. They see something that needs to be done. They know how to take care of it, and they get it done.
There is, because it leaves my time free to do the things that the general chairman really needs to do, and that's to keep the whole celebration cohesive and working together. but I don't have to worry about any of the individual events.
Yeah.
I know that there's somebody that's taking care of those events and taking care of those aspects, different aspects of the whole celebration, from putting the commemorative book together to putting the concerts together to the celebration that begins it all on Flag Day. We have so many numerous events that are open.
Anybody from the state, anybody from anywhere.
Absolutely.
Come in.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Where's the furthest you've ever heard a person come from? I mean, obviously, the sailors aboard the ship, they tend to beat a lot of people with the distance traveled, but where's some of the farther places you've heard?
Oh, people, we have bands that come from Canada and all across the United States. We have people that live all across the United States that are Bristolians and come home.
That's great.
This is the time of the year that they come home, and you notice that in the local paper you'll see a lot of class reunions at this time of the year.
Okay.
Because they know people are coming home for the 4th, so they schedule their class reunions at that same time period. So their friends that live out of state will more than likely be here for the parade. We have a beautiful interfaith service Sunday afternoon at 3:00 at St. Michael's. And it's something for everyone.
Sure. Speaking of coming home, a new thing happening this year. Bristol's own Matt Allen, of course, he's a talk radio host on News Talk 630 and 99.7 FM, has been doing a wonderful series leading up to it, speaking with you. I've heard you on the radio quite a bit, talking about the different things. So community support is important. And of course, if for whatever reason you're unable to come down to the parade on July 4th, you can tune in and see it live, thanks to our friends at ABC6.
Yes, absolutely. ABC6 not only broadcasts it live, but streams it live all across the country. So anybody who lives out in California and just can't get home for whatever reason for the 4th still gets to watch the parade as it's actually happening because it's being streamed live.
They have great sponsors like Cardi's Furniture, our boys Nick, Ron, and Pete.
Yes, Nick,
friends.
Ron, and Pete, who are riding in the back seat with me today.
They've been supporters of the parade for many years. I know the characters have been. I've driven the parade route with the characters.
With the characters,
that's
yes.
always fun. It's always a good day. As a matter of fact, when we come to the intersection here of Hope and High Street, a lot of the guys in the big outfits for the bands or the characters, whatever, enjoy that spot because that undoubtedly has the best breeze.
Yes, it is.
The wind coming right off the bay right there, the breeze. Oh, perfect, nice and cooling.
That spot right there, and then the spot between Agave and Sip and Dip where it's all open. It's just one big parking lot open right to the bay, and that breeze that comes right there is just like so relieving when you get to those points that you're like, oh, breath of fresh air. But we do have a lot of sponsors, a lot of big sponsors. Dunkin' Donuts became our presenter of the parade.
Thank you, Duncan.
Yes, last year, and they're in it with us. And Navigant Credit Union, people that it's not just we really rely on the Bristol businesses, but businesses from all over the state now want to get involved because they see it as such a grand celebration.
It really is.
It really is. Patriotism is such a big thing all over the country. Mm-hmm. I mean, we all want to support our country and our flag. And so it brings out the best in everybody for that day, for sure.
Absolutely. Let's talk safety for a second. If people coming down to the parade on July 4th, what's a few things they should know? What should they bring? What shouldn't they bring?
Absolutely. Alcohol is not allowed on the entire parade route.
It's not allowed in public in general.
That's right. It's not allowed in public in general, but they should feel free to bring their coolers with water. Obviously, you want to stay completely hydrated.
Yep.
We have a lot of vendors along the route that have cold beverages, but you want to be sure that, especially if it's a very hot day, that you really stock up and start, if you know it's going to be a hot day, really start hydrating the day before. That's what we all do. Yep. Ourselves, we really drink a lot of cold water and a lot of water the day before to start getting hydrated. Mm-hmm. That's your most important thing for safety's sake, is to be sure to stay hydrated for the day of the parade.
And just for safety's sake, make sure that you have sunscreen.
Oh, absolutely.
If it's a sunny day, a hat, to keep the sun off I don't have this problem, but Nick, Ron, and Pete, they kind of do. There's
plenty of people who have that problem, and yes, we really, please take every precaution that you can, even if it's a very hot and humid and overcast day, you still can get a very bad burn. So please take every precaution to have your sunscreen, have hats, make sure your children are well protected. And
Absolutely.
I can't say this enough because I can't understand it being a pet owner myself. Please don't bring your pets to the parade.
Yeah,
You know how hot it is for you and your children. Imagine how hot it is for your dog on the day of the parade. And the pavement is hot. And I just saw a show the other night showing a dog's paws burnt. Burnt red
That's
from
right.
very hot pavement. So, we know we can't force you to keep your pets home, but please take.
Well, I got a suggestion. If you want to bring your pet, you wear a fur coat yourself. Faux fur, of course.
Yes, there you go.
And see how long you want to stay and hang around.
Yeah, experience it that way.
Absolutely. Donna, lastly, this whole parade is made possible by support from the sponsors. We mentioned Cardi's, you've mentioned Dunkin' Donuts, and Gill's Appliance. Obviously they're phenomenal supporters in the town. You have so many other great supporters, but it also depends on the support from individuals. So if you come to a concert, which we want you to come to concerts.
Absolutely.
If you come to any of the events, or if you're home and you want to, if you're a Rhode Island resident, you can get a Bristol 4th of July parade plate. Correct?
Yes, you can.
License plate.
They're really beautiful license plates.
See them all over Bristol.
I'm amazed as I drive to Providence and home from Providence every day for work, how many I actually still see. I stay on the highway. It's just amazing to me. I think they really caught on because I think not just Bristol is proud. I mean, we are very proud that we're the oldest continuous celebration in the country, but in the galaxy. But I believe that every Rhode Islander is proud of that fact.
Absolutely.
That they live in the state that hosts this wonderful, wonderful 4th of July celebration. And I think just that license plate, just showing your patriotism from the license plate. And everyone should remember that $5 of every single license plate goes to the Rhode Island Veterans Home.
Perfect, which they're doing a great job there.
Oh, it's just going to be
beautiful.
absolutely, absolutely beautiful when it's completed. And I'm so looking forward to the day they cut the ribbon. I'm planning to take the day off so that I can be there. It's just, I just feel that if we don't take care of those people, who is going to take care of them?
No, you're absolutely. Donna, it's going to be a beautiful year for the parade. I just know it. I think that Chelsea Priest over at ABC6, she's going to get you the perfect forecast.
She is.
And you mentioned when you got in the car before we started taping, you really you like the new Nick, Ron, and Pete, and this is pretty cool. So this is the new collection that people can get if they go to the Paw Sox on July 9th. And you know what? This is yours. You can take that one home. There you go. You have your own.
Nick, Ron, and Pete, you're coming home with me.
There you go. All right.
There they go.
All right. Perfect. So.
And my husband is a huge baseball fan.
There you go. Well, I hope to see him down at McCoy sometime soon.
Oh, as soon as the 4th of July is over.
Summer begins after July 5th for anybody in Bristol.
It's really funny. Because we hear people say all the time that after the 4th, well, the summer's really starting to end. But if you're a 4th of July committee member, the summer begins on July the 5th.
There you go. Well, thank you to all the members and yourself and all the people, the police, the fire, the EMS, the military, the people who just really, pitch in, all the parade participants. It's going to be a great year for the parade. Donna, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for doing this.
And,
this was really great.
Absolutely.
I hope you can do this every year.
Well, we'll make it. We'll put it down right there because
I think Fran would love to do this next year.
We'll get Fran in. And remember, it's the oldest continuous parade.
4th of July celebration in the galaxy.
Get that right.
Get it right.
There you go.